It was said of him that nothing could stand in his way. If he wanted something, it happened, and if he desired an idea, it became a reality. He never asked how or when. He only asked, how much? Money was his only language. With it, he bought influence, built palaces, and opened doors before knocking. He lived surrounded by every trapping of luxury, expensive cars, boundless travel, and countless faces that smiled at him because they knew the smile was bought. When the days weighed heavily or his heart felt constricted, he didn't sit with himself. Instead, he escaped, turning the night into a cacophony of noise, filling the space with music and lights, and surrounding himself with every form of entertainment he mistook for comfort. He believed that happiness was something that could be summoned with money, and that joy was a winning deal. The more empty he felt, the more he spent. The more lonely he felt, the more people he gathered around him. Loud laughter, long nights, and days that blurred until he could no longer distinguish between night and day. With time, pleasure was no longer enough for him. He needed more to feel a little. Comfort became a habit, and the habit an addiction. Money was no longer a means, but a master. Yet, despite all this, he would always return to a vast, empty room, sit alone, look around, and find nothing real to touch. Everything was shiny but cold, and all the faces he knew vanished. With the first silence, then came the day he hadn't anticipated, the day his body began to weaken, a sudden illness, a pain beyond measure. But he laughed and said confidently, "The illness will not defeat me as long as I have money." He brought doctors from everywhere, opened his coffers, paid without restraint, thinking that health was a commodity like any other. Prescriptions, equipment, medicines, and countless promises. But he grew more and more tired, and the more he paid, the more helpless he felt. For the first time, money was useless. It couldn't buy health, a peaceful mind, or a tranquil body. One night, he sat before his piles of money, gazing at them for a long time, then whispered in a broken voice, "You are useless. You haven't protected me. You haven't saved me. You haven't given me anything real." At that moment, his mind began to crack. He started to doubt, to hear voices, to laugh for no reason, then to suddenly become angry. He spoke to the money as if it were a person, shouting at it, accusing it of betrayal. The man who had possessed everything lost himself. It wasn't just the illness that defeated him, but also the illusion of power. And in the end, he wasn't defeated because he was poor. Rather, it was because he discovered too late that there are things that cannot be bought. And when he realized that, his mind was lost.